We have discussed extensively the problems with welfare here in the United States. I've written extensively on this topic over the years. And I saw a story I wanted to share with you. Again, going back, my opinion, the most consequential president in the history of the United States, Lyndon Johnson. And the argument can be made that the Great Society programs destroyed the nuclear family structure here in the United States. All of these domestic programs, mid-1960s, that were used to fight poverty, but did what? Discourage work, stabilized families. 6 decades plus of socialist welfare programs have aided in the breakup of the nuclear family structure. And again, this is a kind of almost a central tenet to Marxism to some degree. I'm going to share with you something here from this column that actually discusses this and actually goes to the Black Lives Matter organization and how BLM and Marxism share ideals. BLM stated in 2020 that it wanted to abolish the family as we know it. We disrupt, and I quote, it's Black Lives Matter, we disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. So there's obviously been a half-century plus war on the nuclear family. And this is extraordinary numbers. This is what I'm going to share with you in regards to census data on the Americans that live alone. Census data shows 28% of all U.S. occupied households were one-person households in 2020, up from just 7.7% in 1940. The largest share of people living alone occurred between 1970 and 1980, when the percentage increased from 17.6% to 22.7%. That's right after all of these welfare programs started. Well, we have right now, the United States, we have the highest rate of single-parent households in the world. The connection between single-parent households and crime is incredibly strong. According to research carried out by Jared Brown, who's a behavioral specialist, children that are raised in single-parent households experience more physical and psychological problems compared to those raised in two-parent households. Moreover, he added, the implications of homes in which fathers are absent may be important to explore for criminal justice and mental health professionals. But this is something you can't say. And it's offensive to some people. Sure. Do some single-parent households work out? Parents have to, single parents, single mothers, single fathers having to absolutely crush it to get things done. And does it happen? Absolutely. But it's without a doubt the exception. It's not the rule. We all know this. We all know that this is not the ideal. And again, I've written about this extensively. And again, you can actually even look. You can even look to some of the things that were discussed. You can go back to FDR. FDR and this 1935. 1935, he's discussing Social Security, unemployment insurance, all the stuff that he is putting forward. But he gave a warning. Okay, and this guy is a patron saint of handouts and giveaways for the Democrats. But again, this is something, if he said this today, forget about it. They would have thrown him out of the party. The lessons of history, confirmed by evidence immediately before me, show conclusively that continued dependence on relief induces a spiritual and moral disintegration, fundamentally destructive to the national fiber. To dole out relief in this way is to administer a narcotic, a subtle destroyer of the human spirit. It is inimical to the dictates of sound policy. It is a violation of the traditions of America. Again, I cited this, this was years ago, going back, a piece that I did called Drug Pusher over 10 years ago, and a Cato Institute study entitled Welfare and the Culture of Poverty. And the study showed that welfare is both a consequence and a cause of several conditions that they describe as social pathologies. Conditions include dependency, poverty, out-of-wedlock births, non-employment, abortion, violent crime, all conditions that one would feel comfortable associating with substance abuse. Again, how did all these handouts and giveaways work out? WatchDog on WallStreet.com.